Hello friends, this is Renu here and we are here back for our session for science. So last time we had a few discussion about the nutrients, that is lesson number 2, components of food. So we'll recollect few things what we have studied last time. We have studied about nutrients, how many nutrients are present in the food. So first is carbohydrates, second is fats, third is proteins, fourth is vitamins, fifth is minerals, sixth is roughage, and the seventh is water. So these are the nutrients which are present in different types of food. So in this session we are going to discuss about the two major nutrients, that is first is carbohydrates and second is fats. So let us start with a small slide show. That is, first slide is about the carbohydrates. Now children, you must be thinking, what are carbohydrates? Okay, so carbohydrates are the energy giving food. Carbohydrates are the first type of nutrients which provides us energy. So their main function is to provide our body, that is energy. Well, the most important type of carbohydrates that we are going to study in the next slide. Okay, some carbohydrates are in starchy and sugary form. Like in few food samples, sugar is present, and in few food samples, starch is present. So carbohydrates gives you energy. What children, it gives you? Energy. These foods contain carbohydrates, that is potato, cereal, pasta, rice, etc. So nutrients in food, that is first nutrients of the food is carbohydrates. This gives you more energy. Even carbohydrates are energy giving compounds. They are present in our food in large quantities as starch. Example, cereals, pulses, legumes, fruits, potatoes. Fine. So move to the next slide, that is types of carbohydrates. Children, there are two types of carbohydrates. First is complex, that is in the form of starches, and second is simple, that are in the form of sugars. So let us learn one by one what are complex starches, what are simple starches. So let us start with the simple carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrates are nothing but sugars. They are soluble in water, they are easily digested and provide instant energy to our body. They are found in fruits in the form of fructose, in the milk, lactose, and table sugar, that is sucrose. These fructose, lactose, and sucrose we are going to learn ahead. So the sugar that our body uses most is glucose. Now let us study about the complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates such as starch, they are insoluble in water. They are found in rice, potatoes, corn, millet, wheat, etc. Complex carbohydrates do not release energy instantly like sugars. This is because the starch first converts into sugar, that is broken down into sugars, and then the energy is released. So sugars are the immediate source of energy, and sugar that our body uses most is glucose. So now children, if you want to know if the starch is present in the food item, then we have to take a test for starch. So now we are going to take two items, food sample, that is first one is potato and second one is bread. So we are going to perform this experiment by using two food samples, and let us check whether the starch is present in this food samples. So take one peeled potato and cut it into two pieces. Then you take an iodine solution and put that iodine solution on the surface of potato. Then what you are going to observe after the few minutes later, that is the color on the surface of potato changes to bluish black. Also we are going to perform the same experiment with the bread. Take a bread, put few iodine drops, that is iodine solution, onto the bread, and then Few minutes later, you will see the change of the color on the bread. That is, it changes to bluish black. See children, in this slide, I have given the diagram which you will understand that how to do the experiment. First, in the test tube, you take a sample, then iodine drops which is of brown color and food sample which will be of white color. Shake it well and then you will see that food sample turns into bluish black. So this was the test for starch. So what did you observe by this experiment? You observe that the color changes into bluish black for the starch test. It means the starch is present in the food which you have taken to do the experiment. So let us move to the next slide, that is starchy food and examples of sources of carbohydrates. Now you can see this image where you can see in bread, cereals, pasta, rice, potatoes, beans and chestnuts, carbohydrates are present. It means it is a starchy food. The sources of carbohydrates are example wheat, rice, flour, bajra, sweet potato, beetroot, carrot, banana, apple, chiku, sugarcane, jaggery, honey, sugar, etc. And this energy is measured in calories. And students, I would like to share little bit extra information to you all. That is, cellulose is a complex carbohydrate present in fruits and vegetables. And it is not digested in our system. It acts as filler, that is roughing, or we also can say it as fiber. So these were the starchy food and examples of sources of carbohydrates. So I hope you understood this first nutrient of the food, that is carbohydrate. So let us move to the next slide, that is what are fats. So before that, I would like to tell you that an important point to bring into your notice is that if you take excess of carbohydrates, it's not that it is going to be energetic for you people, but extra carbohydrates are going to be stored in the form of fats under the skin. So these fats you can utilize whenever your body requires more amount of energy. A lot of carbohydrates is also not good for health. So fats are also the energy giving compounds. Well, they can be of different types in our body. Fat can be stored under the skin, around the heart, in the kidney, etc. Fats have more energy than carbohydrates. Whenever your body requires more energy, it uses the stored fat only. So you can see in this slide, fats are composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. In fats, oxygen content is much lower than the carbohydrates and it is stored beneath our skin to protect against the rapid loss of heat and it keeps our body warm. And more important point about the fats are when the fats are solid at a normal room temperature, these fats are called as saturated fats and those which are in liquid at the room temperature are called unsaturated fats. Fat gives us more energy than carbohydrates and required amount of energy is utilized in our body and remaining is stored as a fat. So children, the excess of fats is also not good for our body. It may cause a condition like called obesity. So the layer of fat under the skin helps to conserve body heat and fats are available in oil-rich foods such as puris, kachoris, samosas, fried chips, peanuts, pakoras, ghee, butter, oil, etc. Actually, one must avoid fat-rich food. You know why? Because as it make you overweight. And we know that fat is very important for our body, but consuming it in excess, it will lead to obesity. Animals like seals or polar bears in a very cold region like Antarctica You'll observe that animals like polar bears or seals have a thicker layer of skin. Why do they have thicker layer of skin? That is also known as blubber under their skin to protect them from extreme cold. It means the fats are saturated under the skin. So these fatty tissues surrounding organs like eye and kidney give protection by acting as shock absorbers. And fat helps in the growth of tissue. So let us move to the next slide. Types of fats. What are the types of fats? There are two types of fats, that is saturated fats, unsaturated fats, monosaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. But today we are only going to learn about saturated fats and unsaturated fats. As I told you before, fats are solids at room temperature are called saturated fats. For example, butter, cheese. Then fats which are at room temperature are called unsaturated fats. It will be in the form of different types of oil like coconut oil, olive oil, groundnut oil, etc. So these are the two types of fats, that is saturated and unsaturated. Now children, we are going to see the functions of fats. So as I told you, it gives more energy than the carbohydrates. As you know, the carbohydrates are better source of energy. But even fats are also important. It carry the function of fat is to carry fat soluble vitamins which makes our food taste good. It also makes our food tender and fats help you feel full. Fats also help your body make hormones, store energy, and the main thing of the function of the fat is it provides cushion to your internal organs and provide a layer of insulation. So fats gives us energy and help our body to absorb other nutrients. They give greater amount of energy than carbohydrates. And food containing fats and carbohydrates both are called as energy giving food. Our body can utilize carbohydrates more easily children as compared to fat for producing energy. So these were the functions of fats. Now today we are going to perform a small experiment, that is test for fats. How we are going to understand whether the fat is present into the food sample. So there is a few procedure and few observations which we are gonna observe it. So let us come to the procedure part. We have to take any food item on the sheet of a white filter paper. After taking it, you should crush it very carefully. Then, second step is wrap the sheet of white paper. Then, after some time, you should unfold the sheet of the white filter paper and let it dry. Then, fourth step is how hold the sheet of white filter paper in a light source and observe it. Light source, it is the best light source is sunlight. You can see into the sunlight. Then what you will observe on the filter paper, that is an oily patch on the sheet of white filter paper shows that food item contains fat. You may take the food sample, example groundnut. You can take the groundnut and crush it. After crushing it, the oil which is present into that groundnut will come into the filter paper. Oil drop will spread into the filter paper. So it means that fats are present in that groundnut, that is particular food sample. So this was the test for fats. I hope you understood this test. We'll move to the next slide. Sources of fats. See children, there are foods which are high in fats, there are foods which are good fats and the foods which are high, that is healthy high fats. So, fats are of two types, good fat and bad fat. Good fat helps body to fight against cancer and provides energy. And bad fat deposit in body and cause heart problems. So children, for your good health, I will suggest you to eat the good fats, that is cheese, dark chocolate, whole eggs, nuts, coconut oil, olive oil, peanut butter, pistachios and walnuts. And also there are few items which are very high in fats like almonds, meat, cheese, butter, chocolate, oil. So these were the sources of fats and few examples about the fats. So thank you children for listening me. I hope you must have understood today's session that we conducted about carbohydrates and fats. So children, thank you so much. If you have any queries, we will discuss